When people in Istanbul woke up that morning, they had no idea that the city's gossip headlines were about to explode. For months, rumors had been circulating quietly, whispers that CanYaman and Demet Özdemir, the most iconic duo in Turkish television history, had crossed paths again. Fans didn't want to believe it at first. After all, years had passed since their emotional split, since the days when their chemistry in Erkenci Kuss wasn't just acting, but something that seemed to burn through the screen. Yet here they were, photographed together once again, and the city hasn't stopped buzzing since. The story began in the heart of Istanbul, at a glamorous event filled with celebrities, cameras, and reporters. CanYaman arrived first, his usual confident stride, wearing his perfectly tailored suit. He looked every bit the international superstar who had conquered both Turkish dramas and Italian screens. But what nobody expected was Demet's entrance just moments later. Wearing an elegant black dress, glowing with confidence, she immediately drew every eye in the room, including Cannes. The tension was impossible to miss. Witnesses claimed that when their eyes met, the room fell into silence for a moment. The flashes of the paparazzi cameras didn't matter. The conversations around them blurred into the background. It was just the two of them, like years had vanished in an instant. Social media instantly erupted, with fans posting side-by-side videos of the exact moment Can turned his head and locked eyes with Demet. Thousands of comments flooded in within minutes. "This is not acting anymore, look at their faces, they still love each other, Istanbul is shaking tonight." What made the scene even more dramatic was how unplanned it all seemed. Sources close to the organizers claimed that neither Can nor Demet knew the other would be attending. Was it fate? Was it a coincidence? Or, as some suggest, was it carefully orchestrated by someone who wanted the spark between them to reignite under the spotlight? The real explosion came not from their silent eye contact, but from what happened later that night. Multiple insiders confirmed that after the event, Can and Demet disappeared from the crowd for almost 30 minutes. Paparazzi tried to follow, but the two stars slipped into a private area. No cameras, no microphones, just the two of them behind closed doors. And this is where the speculation reached fever pitch. What did they talk about? Some say it was nothing more than polite catching up, a friendly exchange between two professionals who share history. But others insist the conversation grew emotional, filled with confessions left unsaid for years. One report even claimed that Demet was seen wiping away a tear as she left the room, while Can followed moments later, his expression unusually serious. The headlines the next day were merciless. Turkish newspapers screamed, "Explosive reunion shakes Istanbul," while Italian outlets picked it up with titles like Can and Demet, Is Love Still Alive? Fans in Spain, Germany, and across the world shared the news, turning their reunion into a global trending topic. Hashtags like #CanDemetReunion and #LoveShock dominated Twitter and Instagram, with millions of interactions in just hours. But it wasn't just the public who reacted. Behind the scenes, people close to both actors hinted that emotions ran deeper than what the cameras could capture. They never really stopped caring about each other, one anonymous friend said. No matter how far Can travels or how much Demet focuses on her projects, their connection is unbreakable. That night in Istanbul only proved it. Fans immediately began analyzing every detail from that night. The way Can placed his hand on Demet's back as they briefly walked out of the hall together. The smile she gave him, softer than anything caught on camera in years. The fact that, for once, neither of them rushed to deny the rumors. Usually, both stars are quick to shut down gossip. But this time? Silence. And silence spoke louder than any statement. Meanwhile, Istanbul itself felt like it was holding its breath. Cafes buzzed with conversations about them, taxi drivers debated whether this was true love reborn or just another publicity stunt. On TV talk shows, pundits and gossip columnists dissected their every move, replaying the footage endlessly. "You cannot fake that kind of emotion," one panelist said. The way they looked at each other, the tension, it was real. Adding fuel to the fire, fans uncovered a small but powerful detail. Demet had worn a necklace that night that many remembered from years ago, back when she was filming alongside Can. For loyal followers, this wasn't coincidence, it was a hidden message, a reminder of the bond they once shared. By the next day, Istanbul's streets were filled with posters and tabloids plastered with their faces. It was as if the city had turned into one giant stage, replaying their reunion over and over. International outlets followed suit, proving once again that when it comes to Can and Demet, the world simply cannot look away. And then came the fan theories, some insisting that this reunion was the first step toward a long-awaited reconciliation, others suggesting that a secret project might be bringing them together again. Rumors swirled about a potential new series, about contracts being discussed in private, about a script that could once again put them side by side on screen. Whether true or not, the very possibility only fueled the frenzy further. For fans, the reunion wasn't just about nostalgia, it was about hope. Hope that the story they invested in years ago, the fairy tale romance that blurred the lines between fiction and reality, might finally find its happy ending. One viral TikTok video showed a compilation of Can and Demet's old interviews spliced together with their reunion clips, set to romantic music. The video reached millions of views in less than a day, with captions like "Destiny always wins" and "Love never dies." Young fans cried in front of their phones, older fans admitted that watching them together again gave them goosebumps. It became more than a reunion, it became a cultural moment. But the biggest question remains, what now? Was this just a fleeting reunion, a moment in time that stirred up memories and gossip but would fade away? Or was it something more, a spark that could ignite again, no matter how many years have passed? Close friends of both stars have hinted that their relationship has always been complicated, but also genuine. They tried to move on, they tried to live separate lives, but destiny seems determined to throw them back together. And fans are convinced this is only the beginning of a new chapter. Love conquers all, one fan tweeted. If they survived years apart, maybe now is their chance. Meanwhile, Demet has remained quiet, posting only a mysterious Instagram story, a picture of the Bosphorus at night, captioned with a single heart emoji. Can, on the other hand, was photographed leaving his gym in silence, avoiding reporters' questions. Yet even in his silence, his expression carried weight, a man who had seen someone who changed everything for him, perhaps forever. Insiders close to Can even suggested that he had cleared his schedule for several days following the event, fueling speculation that private meetings between him and Demet may have already taken place away from cameras. As Istanbul continues to buzz, one thing is certain, the reunion of CanYaman and Demet Özdemir has captured not just the city, but the world. Their story has always been larger than life, filled with passion, heartbreak, and unforgettable chemistry. And now, with this explosive reunion, fans are left wondering if love truly can conquer all. Because sometimes, the greatest stories aren't written in scripts. They're lived, in the eyes of two people who, despite everything, still find their way back to each other. And for millions watching across the globe, the hope is simple yet powerful, that this love story, once interrupted, might just be ready to begin again.